Afternoon, everybody. Today is December 17th, 2025. It is 5:15 PM.
Wait, is he ready? You ready?
This is the City of LaPorte Redevelopment Commission. I'm calling this meeting to order. If you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call. I myself, Brian Chalik, is here. J.T. McDermott is here. Betsy Parkinson is here. Francis Sconey's here. Excuse me. Everyone's here except for Damon. Public comment. Do we have any public comment? Mayor, do we have any public comment? Okay. Approval of the November 19th, 2025 meeting minutes. Have everybody had a good chance to look at those?
Yes.
Any discussion?
I'll make a motion for approval of November 19th, 2025 meeting minutes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-1, or 4-0. Claims. Has everybody get a chance to look at that? Any problems with the claims docket? Any
I'll make a
questions?
motion for the approval of the December 17th, 2025 claim docket.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion, second. All further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0.
That was Jenna seconded?
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to bring that up now? Old business. We have one little old business not on the docket. It's in reference, actually about claims. I'll let Mr. Phillips take care of that for us. We know about it. It was a long time ago. We had meetings about, I had a meeting about the Truesdale area. Go ahead.
Yeah, so with regard to the Truesdale Avenue project, the roundabouts, the street realignment, and all the stormwater-related improvements that were done as part of that project, basically, the majority of the project was paid for through a combination of ARP funds, American Rescue Plan funds from the city that were allocated to us, and a significant amount from the Health Foundation of LaPorte. So that left about, I believe it was $990,000 total remaining for various city agencies to cover. And out of that 991,000? We're left with basically the $684,270.30 that we anticipated. It just took us it took them a long time to get the final bill to us to basically wrap up that project. So it basically is just tidying up the the last parts of the project that hadn't yet been billed out, and the majority of what hadn't already been paid for by those two other entities that I mentioned. So we paid a little bit beyond that, as well as you recall, for the improvements along what we called the Marquette Alley.
Darlington Street.
And Darlington Street as well, we agreed to as part of that. So,
It's like 3 projects in one.
yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. So this last bill basically was just the wrap up of all that and the portion that we had to pay as part of the overall package. So any questions you guys have to, I'm happy to answer, but,
So this has all been accounted for and fits within our budget.
it's all been accounted for, it fits within our budget, it was anticipated, it just took them a long time to get us the bill, so it seemed a little bit out of whack because it's been a long time since we talked about that, since the project wrapped up, it's just been quite
Some time ago.
some time since, for them to get us the bill, so.
Actually, the bill was dated 12/5,
Bill was dated 12/5, yeah, so
2 weeks.
there was no delay of anything like that, it was just, yeah, so.
Need a motion.
Who's it payable to? I don't,
Riley?
Reeve Riley,
okay,
yep,
okay.
yeah, you should have had
Yeah, I saw that when I looked.
a copy of it in your packets.
I'll make a motion for approval of the remaining bill for the Truesdale Avenue project.
That's a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes, 41. Thank you.
I signed that one too.
Okay, new business. Approval of extension purchase agreement with HRKDE LLC. Mr. Hagenow. Oh, Bert's gonna take it? Oh, okay.
I think Bert's gonna explain.
Thank you, Brian. Bert Cook, Executive Director of the LaPorte Economic Advancement Partnership. So I knew when I said this last year that I jinxed us, because if you remember, we asked for an amendment to the purchase agreement on the Pin Fusion deal, and I said, hey, we're gonna just extend it to the end of the year because that's plenty of time and there would be nothing that could possibly occur that would keep us from closing at that point in time. And then the federal government shutdown occurred and ruined that timeline. And so their loan with through the SBA 504 program sat during that shutdown, and obviously that couldn't be considered, and so changed our timeline entirely. And so we're back in front of you now to ask for an extension. I don't know how else to phrase it, because I'm afraid if I say this, I'm going to jinx something again, but I will say we extended both agreements to the end of next year, fully expecting that to be more than enough time to get this completed and under construction, frankly, maybe constructed by that point. But that's what the agreements that you have in front of you tonight. We have gotten the approval, or they have received their approval from the SBA, so we are making really good progress. It's just the time that it's at with the SBA is problematic for our previous agreement. Miss anything?
Unforeseen.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion. I suggest that we agree to this and leave the date blank. Then we just have to fill in the blank when it ever gets done.
I think Attorney Hagenow might
I
not,
just thought it'd be easier.
Well, it would be.
but I'm happy to answer questions. Again, for your benefit, for the public's benefit, super exciting project. I think you guys are very familiar with it. We're excited. On our side, we've already got a lot of the work that the city is responsible for in process. And this is just sort of the uncertain nature of project development.
Any questions for Mr. Cook?
The only thing I would add is the recent delay is not only the federal government shut down for a period of time, but they're now needing a survey that's gonna take 2 months to get, so
Ooh.
that's
Because it expired.
in a different kind of survey, just a different.
Well,
kind of
there's, yeah, that's exactly right. And Craig, you're referencing another issue. There's all kinds of problems, but some of the environmental reporting that was done, that work will last for 1 year. And because of the delay, then that has to be redone as well. So there's a number of things that have to be redone, all based on this unfortunate, situation with the timing. So we'll get all those things done. We would fully expect to see that closing occur early in the year next year, and for them to be under construction, as soon as kind of weather would permit, late spring, early summer of this year, of the coming year, 2026.
2 months isn't a bad timeline for surveys right now. Sounds like a lot, but it's become the norm. Yeah.
I'll make a motion for the approval of extension of purchase agreement and development agreement with HRKDE LLC.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of general services contract with Carner Blue Consulting.
Yep, very briefly, asking for the same contract as we had for this calendar year, general services contract to allow us some flexibility for as-needed services, for grant-related services. And we, as you know, we've been awarded the Boyd Boulevard Stormwater Project funds through the EDA, $2.5 million for that project. There's a lot of housekeeping and a lot of wrap-up before we actually get issued the funds. We're very close to being able to be done with that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Again, the government shutdown really slowed us down because we were in a queue before. We have to wait to get our point in the queue again, basically, to get that project reviewed and finally approved. There's some back and forth necessary for that. So you're all familiar with the work that Tina Rogers has done for us through Carner Blue Consulting, and I think you can all agree that it's been very valuable to us. So I request approval for a general services contract for the time being not to exceed $5,000, like we've done in the past.
She got us more than whatever we paid her.
Yeah, not to mention what she's done for the city, on the city side as well with, we, now announced one Ready grant. We're anticipating an announcement on a second Ready grant here. Details we can't share quite yet, but very exciting. And so she's definitely more than
More than worth what we're paying her.
yeah, more than paid for the services. So
I'll make a motion for approval of general services contract with Carner Blue Consulting not to exceed $5,000.
I will second.
And I got a second. That was Betsy. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0.
sure.
Other business, Mr. Cook. Thank you again, Brian. Bert Cook, Executive Director of LEAP. Appreciate Attorney Hagnow for assisting with this. We have, I guess, it is an unfortunate situation, although it's I don't think the most unusual, but want to present it to you and ask for your consideration tonight. So I don't want to be the one to be breaking news. However, Smoothie King in Newport Landing has been purchased by another developer who has a tenant that will be opening in that space. Not my place to share at this point. We'll let them make that announcement under their timeline. But you will remember that when we did the original agreement there, part of that was a promissory note. So the developer at that time, I don't remember the exact total, but it was around $64,000 and some change for a promissory note that would roll off over the course of a 5-year period of time, so 20% per year. And the idea was that as they stayed in business, 20% of that would roll off, and then after that 5-year period, the note would go away. And we'd go from there. So they've been in business for just under 3 years. So we would, advise that we're comfortable with that portion, meaning there's 2 years remaining on that promissory note. After speaking with the owner, Parth Patel, he asked that you consider splitting the remaining 2 years. So asking him to pay for, let's say, that fifth year, which would be an amount of $13,492. That would come back to the Redevelopment Commission. Ultimately, the closing on that occurs this Friday. So we're positioned to make this part of that closing, which is good on our part. At the end of the day, as I see it, the Redevelopment Commission isn't really losing out on anything. We're going to have another business that's going to open almost immediately. They'll do some renovations on the building. They'll change a few things architecturally, but they'll be open and in business. Can't guarantee anything, but I feel comfortable saying that that'll occur they'll be in business for the next couple years. And so we will have accomplished what our goal was, I think, from the start, which is to make sure that we have a viable business in that space. As far as the Smoothie King goes, I'm not an expert by any means, but after conversation with the owner, I think the brand has run onto some challenges, not just in our market, but in a number of other markets. And frankly, this is part of that business. You try things, and some of those things work really well, and others don't, and we adjust course accordingly. And so like to present that to you tonight. I would, I mean, if you are willing to listen to my opinion, I think that's a fair way to go about completing this transaction with them. And, you know, hopefully we'll look forward to doing something else with this developer when the right opportunity presents itself. If I forgot any details or you have questions, I'm happy to try and answer those.
I just think you ought to commend the man for going and building the building for it. I mean, he bought the land and gave it a shot.
Yeah.
Didn't work. At least we're not sitting there with an empty building.
Correct.
So
Questions?
what do you need from us?
We need a motion to,
Yes, if you would, sir, are so willing, would appreciate a motion, and maybe Attorney Hagenow can help me, I guess, would just to require Parth Patel to pay $13,492 at closing, which would satisfy the promissory note that we have in place.
Correct.
Okay, I'll make a motion to request that the Patel family pay $13,492 of their promissory note at closing.
Yep. As full satisfaction. Yep.
At full
I
satisfaction.
have a second.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday season, Christmas. And where's the little one? There she is back there. And who would like to be Damon?
I will. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I have a motion.
I will second.
I have a second by Betsy. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. We are adjourned. Thank you.